Welcome to Rewrite Your Reality with Reese. I am your host, and yesterday I had a question come to me, which was basically, should you wait to imagine something until your physical circumstances reflect something more aligned with what it is you want to be imagining? Now, the question was about relationships, right? Which can get a little uncomfortable for people to talk about, so which is perfectly fine, right? No one's here to say manifesting breaks the law. It doesn't, right? Three-dimensional laws exist within the divine law, right? The divine law that I am something. But people don't understand what actually manifesting is. It's not materializing an idea into the 3D world. It is materializing a 3D world and a world experience right now. That's what it is. It's not saying I'm going to manifest this lip eyes, this lip gloss, into my hand right now from the 3D. It's going to give it to me as a three-dimensional experience. That's what I'm going to manifest. It's going to materialize in my hand. No. Right? That's not what it is. Manifesting is remembering that there is a physical version of me where age doesn't play a role in consciousness, where time doesn't play a role in consciousness. There is just an experience that I experience holding this in my hand. It may seem like I'm physically going to hold it into my hand to prove the point. It's not that. It's my physical self and the physical world rearranging itself for me to have this in my hand to reflect the image that is in my mind and the story that I am telling in my mind, in my imagination as consciousness that I am holding this in my hand. 3D has to reflect it. So, using the example of a casino, right? If you are under 21, you can't gamble. You can sneak in somehow with the fake ID, maybe, right? But if you win, you will be scrutinized into infinity by the people who own the casino just before they give you a cent. And you'll find out that you're not 21, they're not going to give you any money. So that's you trying to brute force reality into winning the jackpot while being underage. You are aware of this. You are aware that while being underage, you can't go win the casino, the jackpot. That you can't do it. But you can imagine winning. You don't have to wait until you're 21 to imagine winning, right? Why? Because that's not what manifesting is. Manifesting is becoming aware of a version of reality that you choose to experience right now. How that physical experience unfolds has nothing to do with you. It's your higher self that you are not in control of that unfolds it for you. You don't have to go and brute force anything. In fact, you can't brute force anything. And I will even go further in saying if you try to brute force something, you're going backwards. Right? You can't do it. But you can imagine it right now. You don't have to wait until you're 21 to imagine something because that this creates a state of waiting. And if you get to 21, you will wait until you have enough money to go and gamble, or you will wait until you are near a casino to go and gamble, or you will wait until you will be perpetually waiting because you create the experience of waiting. That's what waiting is, right? So another example, right? It has nothing to do with money or gambling or relationships or that kind of thing. Let's say you're 13, whatever 12, 13 age, right? And you see a race, a F1 race or NASCAR race or motocross or something, and you can't drive yet. Should you wait until you can drive a car and then imagine winning a race, or at least racing, right? It's not, but your idea is to win one of these races and then experience racing. Should you wait until you're 21, have a driver's license, can drive, and then imagine yourself driving and winning? You can say yes, you can say no. Both are okay, both are correct, both are states within you. One of them is going to actually net you the experience of that experience. The other one is going to net you an experience of not experiencing it. Right? So that's what waiting actually is. It's nothing. It's just another state. So when you are under the age of the legal driving and very far from learning how to race or driving a car, you can still imagine a life where you are living as a racing driver. That's what manifesting is. It's shifting your viewpoint into a sequence of frames of reality where your physical self experiences a certain part of all that you are. That's it. It's very simple. But you make it complicated with all of these ideas of condoning this and not condoning that, and three-dimensional laws, and you can't be so delusional to overcome the law, this and that. It's because you think that time is a factor. Time is not a factor. Time is basically an unfolding of an experience. Sure, if you consider yourself underage, and you are underage, if you are under 18, that's not that's not an experience of reality. That's obviously true, right? That's true in the sense that this exists right now, but it's not. But your entire life exists right now, from 0 to 100 or whatever, however old you end up being in your specific viewpoint. You exist as every one of those frames, as every one of those versions of yourself in infinite number of ways. So when you're 13, all you're doing is tapping into a version of yourself when you're 21, 22, 30, 35, however old racing drivers really get to, who wins a race, who is a racing driver and wins a race. That's all you're doing. You're tapping into that life now. And you're saying, no, from now, I choose to experience my life as a racing driver who unfolds into and as that. I'm going to persist in that frame because that's the frame I choose to be and live. I'm choosing that identity that is in that frame, and I'm choosing that frame of reality to embody and to be right now. From here, from this very frame that you're living in to that very frame that you have lived now, that exists within you, there is a bridge of incidents that happen, part of which is aging until you are the appropriate age and you have the appropriate driver's license and the racing license, or if that's a thing. I think it is a thing, right? Must be a thing. I just said it. Right? All of that stuff unfolds as that identity, and then you win a race at some point because you have imagined yourself to be a winner. That's who you are. That's what manifesting is. It's remembering a life path that you are right now. The three-dimensional laws don't do anything. They are part of the experience. They're not above the experience. They are part of divine law. They are not above divine law. Why? Because we are here to experience yourself. You can't be a 1-year-old racing an F1 car. But you can be a 1-year-old imagining yourself racing an F1 car. It's perfectly fine. Source understands that, hey, there are frames of reality that have to logically be here for this person to experience being a racing driver as per the three-dimensional norm that they and as humanity experiences. So Source is not stupid. You are not greater and more intelligent than what Source is, right? But this idea that the 3D world has to be above it in some regard, you can't be so delusional that you have to wait to imagine something, is ridiculous, right? It's silly. And it's a misunderstanding of what reality is. So, when you have a dream, imagine that dream fully and then do nothing to make it happen. If you are underage for something that you want to do, understand that you aging is a part of that process. For example, you are 13 and you want to race a car, right? There's an unfolding process that happens, but you are their identity. It is an experience. It is done. It is you on the podium holding the champagne, right? That's you. That is who you are right now, because that's that version of you. You think Michael Schumacher or Lewis Hamilton or whomever, they waited to imagine racing a car? Not a chance, right? And that's why they're great, because they've been that identity and experiencing that identity for however long they've been experiencing it. That's why they are great, because they didn't wait. They said, I am that. I am Lewis Hamilton, racing driver. I am Michael Schumacher, racing driver. I am who I say I am right now. Right? So, that being said, thank you all for being here. Much love, much light. This is really at your reality with Reese. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the subscribing. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for the emails. Thank you for TikTok following and the Facebook group following. If you want to get a hold of me, those are the places to do so, or in the comment section below. Much love, much light, and I will see you on the next one.